Hi there, and a very warm welcome to Season 6, Episode 35 of People Soup. It's Ross McIntosh here. Pea Soupers, it's another cup of soup this week, one where I share some sad news, reflections, and a poem that carries personal meaning for me. This episode is personal, and I'm reflecting on themes of death and grieving, topics that, in my experience, we're not always the best at talking about, particularly in the workplace. And if now is not the right time for you to be listening, please do consider skipping the episode. Also, I wanted to highlight the brilliant ACT-based resources at mygriefmyway.co.uk. I am actively dipping into their website several times a week at the moment. I was fortunate enough to interview the two researchers, Anne Finucane and David Galanders, who led the development of this resource, and you'll find a link to those episodes in the show notes. Please pause and consider, is there anyone you know who might find mygriefmyway.co.uk useful? So, thanks for tuning in, folks. People Soup is a podcast that mixes stories, science, and a sprinkle of daftness to explore what helps people thrive at work and beyond. Our mission is to give you, the listener, the ingredients for a better work life through insights and stories grounded in behavioural science, especially acceptance and commitment therapy, and other evidence-based approaches. And, folks, this is the first time I've recorded the video with the intention of publishing it on a solo episode. That kind of adds a whole new level to the experience of recording. So, Pea Soupers, I have terribly sad news. My dear Dad, known to many of you as Big G, died on Wednesday the 22nd of October. He was peaceful at the end, and I'm grateful that I got to spend the previous week with him in Northumberland. In that week, alongside the pain of impending grief, there were some beautiful moments. We laughed about some of the hairstyles I'd had as a child, talked about my work plans, including this podcast, and my ongoing adventures in Spain. In one of those conversations, we talked about a live upcoming Q&A session, where I'd be talking to Joe Oliver, the founder of Contextual Consulting, about ACT in the workplace. Dad looked at me with his earnest blue eyes and asked, "Will I be involved?" My answer was, "Of course you'll be involved, Dad. You're my guide, and you don't have to attend. I'll tell you all about it afterwards." He was a bit relieved by this, and we went on to talk about the values I've inherited from him, which include creativity, courage, curiosity, kindness, and fun. Qualities that I strive to bring into my work every day. He was always so proud. Sadly, Dad died the day before that Q&A event, so I never got to tell him about the range of questions and curiosity from the audience. I did manage to gently dedicate the session to him at the end. So, in these early stages of grief, I wanted to share a poem that has meaning for both me and Dad. It's one he learnt at school and remembered throughout his whole life. He used extracts from the poem frequently to pepper conversations, whether he was going up to bed, heading out to work in the garden, or leaving the Prudhoe Riverside Cafe after a slap-up lunch. It's a poem I read to him by his bedside the week before he died, and before I left him to head back over to Spain to celebrate the 93rd birthday of my mother-in-law. Of course, I was taking some M&S shortbread biscuits as a gift from Dad. So, the poem is called The Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, and a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the crickets sing. There's midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. So folks, that poem really touches me. And now I'm going to do a traditional People Soup thing, and I'm going to scoot over to the news desk. But this time the reviews are different. A few days after Dad's death, I shared the news on social media. And I was overwhelmed with the response from friends, colleagues, family, and I just thought it might be nice to share the words of some others. So I'm going to share a few of them with you. There were over 150, so I'll not read them all, but I will read a few. Shane McLaughlin said, "So sorry to hear about your dad's passing. I never met him, but I always found it heartwarming how proudly you shared pictures and stories of him. The love and admiration you showed spoke volumes. It reminds me how important it is to celebrate those we love so openly. Thinking of you and your family during this time." Michelle Watkins said, "Dear Ross, I was sorry to read this. Your dad will be missed by many. He had a big, kind heart and made the world a better place. My thoughts and prayers are with you all. With love, Michelle." Jim Lucas said, "Oh Ross, you have been so generous to share your dad's adventures with the world, and I'm so grateful to have known him a little from afar. Thank you for that. I will hold his memory dearly. Take care." Joe Oliver said, "You delivered an amazing session yesterday. You truly embodied the head, hands and heart of the ACT model. I can't imagine your dad being more proud. Lots of love." Richard Coates said, "Ross, very sorry to hear about your dad and what a wonderful human being he was. I still have the People Soup bookmarks he spent such care sending out and loved hearing about his latest walking fundraising. A beautiful human being who has passed on wonderful values to you." And Sally Bradley said, "My heart goes out to you and your family. What a beautiful tribute. There is so much to be proud of, and I have no doubt that he will have been just as proud of you. Go gently and be kind to yourself as you walk with grief again." I replied to all these posts as best I could and said, "I am truly overwhelmed and deeply moved by all your reflections, memories and love. Thank you. Your words have been a great source of comfort to us all. Dad would be utterly flabbergasted by the ripples of his impact and by the warmth reaching us from as far afield as Australia and Peru. I'm going to print out all your messages, both public and private, and place them in Dad's coffin. It might sound a bit daft, and it also feels exactly right. A fitting tribute to the kindness and connection he inspired. With heartfelt gratitude and much love, Ross." Folks, I'm going to sign off now, but I'll leave you with a snippet from the song "Only You" by the Platters, which gave Dad much comfort in the years since Mum died. I love you, Dad, and I'll miss you so much.